Hello and welcome to BOLT'S BISTRO. I'm Hailey and today we're going to be making Margherita Pizza using the KitchenAid Smart Oven. Pizza is the ultimate party food, the carby comforter. I love pizza and today we're gonna make it. But first, I need to learn more about the KitchenAid Smart Oven.
Whoa! Did someone say pizza?
I did! Do you like pizza?
I do. Hi, my name's Mitt. I'm an appliance expert at Schaefer's.
Well, Mitt, can you tell us a bit more about the KitchenAid Smart Oven we're gonna use today?
Of course! Today we'll be using the KitchenAid Smart Oven. This KitchenAid Smart Oven features the first ever collection of oven-powered attachments and is available in black stainless, stainless steel, and double oven option. Grill, bake, and steam with interchangeable attachments connecting to the back of the oven cavity. With a high-resolution touchscreen, watch videos, control cooking modes, give commands from your mobile device, and much more. Equipped with a unique bow tie heating element and fan, hot air is perfectly distributed throughout the oven, providing consistent temperatures for all your culinary needs. The Satin Glide rollout extension rack also makes it easier to cook with large or heavy bakeware, allowing for smooth loading and unloading. Open up new culinary possibilities with the KitchenAid Smart Oven.
Whoa, thanks, Mitt. I didn't know all of that.
Anytime. Holler if you need anything.
I will, thanks. So for this pizza recipe, we're gonna do this in 3 parts: the dough, the sauce, and the toppings. So first step is to do your dough. So get 7 ounces of warm water, and you want it just above room temperature. Put it in a separate bowl, and then you're gonna want a ½ teaspoon of active dry yeast. So just whisk that together a little bit, just like that, and then just put that off to the side for 10-20 minutes and you'll see it start to bubble, and that means that your yeast is alive. So while that's proofing, we're gonna mix our dry ingredients. So we're gonna do 2½ cups of flour. Okay, so we have our flour in. Now we want to add the salt and the sugar. And we want 1 teaspoon of sugar. And then we want 3/4 teaspoon of salt. All right, so once you have all of your dry ingredients in the bowl, you'll just want to whisk them together. Looking at my yeast, I can see a couple little bubbles, so I know my yeast is alive, it's all good. I'm going to add a tablespoon of extra virgin olive oil, and I'm just gonna add that to my yeast and water mixture. And now you're gonna add your wet ingredients to your dry ingredients. So now you wanna take a wooden spoon and just start mixing your dough together. And you'll just mix it until it kind of starts to stick together. And it's gonna look kind of dry and crumbly, but that's normal for pizza dough. And that's kind of what we're looking for. I am going to kind of scoot this over, and you're going to want to flour your surface. And so I just take a spoon and I just kind of put it everywhere. So I'm going to turn this out onto the surface. And now what you want to do is kind of start forming a ball with the dough, and then as it starts kind of sticking together more, then we're gonna start kneading it like you would with any other bread. So kneading dough, you always want to fold and then push and then turn and then repeat the action, and you're just basically doing that over and over again until it's smooth. Okay, and then once you feel like it's at a good place, it's pretty smooth, you just kind of want to pat it into a ball. So once you have your dough kneaded in a neat ball like this, you're going to take your bowl and you're going to put a splash of olive oil on it, and then we're just going to brush the inside of it. Gonna put your dough right in the center like that. And you're gonna cover it with a towel, just a regular kitchen towel. And then you wanna set this somewhere nice and warm and dry for 2 hours, and it will rise and double in size. All right, now moving on to the sauce, you are going to want a blender, and we're gonna use canned tomatoes, garlic infused olive oil, and some salt and pepper, so really basic. So I'm gonna put my tomatoes in here. It's a beautiful sound. And there. And you really don't have to do much, especially with diced tomatoes, because you want it still a little chunky, but not too much. And so once you have that, you want to get your black pepper, and you can use minced garlic if you prefer that. Something that's a huge time saver is just getting some garlic cloves and putting it in olive oil and letting it infuse it. So you'll still get that garlicky flavor, and it's also a lot better for your digestive system. Fun fact. Take a cup of the tomato that you just pureed, and just put that in the bowl. And then we're gonna take just a teaspoon of the garlic infused olive oil. And then you can add a 1/4 teaspoon of ground pepper. I'm just going to eyeball it because I don't like measuring stuff and I don't have to. I'm just cracking some pepper in there. Seems legit. And then you just want a few pinches of salt. And that's all you need for your tomato sauce. It's really to the point, really quick. You do not need a lot in it, unless you want to add some spice and things like that. And I'm just gonna put this off to the side while we get our toppings together. All right, so I have some shredded Parmesan here, and I also have this fresh mozzarella pearls type thing. I like using these because they're already cut up, so it saves you a step. But the thing we don't want is a lot of extra moisture, so what I'm going to do is line a bowl just with some napkins or paper towels or something to kind of absorb the moisture of the cheese while I actually make the pizza. So you're actually probably not gonna use this whole thing unless you're a cheese freak, but you're probably just gonna use about half. So I'm just gonna kinda break it apart, put it in this bowl. So the big part is actually making the pizza and preheating your oven with the baking stone with the KitchenAid Smart Oven. You can do this with your phone, or you can do it on the high resolution touchscreen. You have your stone attachment in there. That's what you're gonna place your pizza on. So I put that at the top temperature I could, which is 450. So while that's preheating, I'm gonna actually make the pizza. So for this next part, if you have a pizza peel, you can use that. I'm just gonna use some parchment paper so it doesn't stick to the surface. And then I'm actually going to line the bottom with some cornmeal. So I'm just gonna put that all over here. And this is gonna give the bottom of your crust that really nice texture, that kind of grainy texture we like. Then I'm gonna grab my dough that's been sitting for a couple hours. So when you look at your dough to make sure that it's actually gonna work, you'll probably see that it's doubled in size. And you also just kind of want to poke it, and you'll see it kind of slowly rise when you poke it. And that means that it is ready to go. So I'm going to turn this out. Right there. And this is gonna make 2 pizzas, so I'm gonna take my dough cutter and I'm going to kind of divide it in half. So once you split up your 2 pieces, you're just gonna kind of put them side to side, and you're gonna cover them with plastic wrap and let them sit for 5 to 10 minutes more, and this is gonna kind of warm them up for us. All right, so now that you've had these covered for about 5 to 10 more minutes, I'm gonna put this second one off to the side. I'm gonna remove the plastic, and we're gonna start stretching the dough. So try to get it as much in a circle as you can. Something you wanna check is that the center is a little bit kind of translucent. You want the center to be more thin and it to grow in thickness around the edges for the crust. So now that I kind of have my crust how I want it, now I'm gonna add my pizza sauce and kind of spread it around. I'm using the back of the spoon to spread it. So I added some of my tomato sauce. I'm gonna put that to the side, and now I'm gonna add my cheese. You're just gonna take a pinch of it, however much you want. Just kind of spread it around. And then you're going to grab the mozzarella that you've kind of patted dry, and you're just gonna start placing the little cubes where you want them on your pizza. And then you're gonna take some fresh basil and you're just gonna tear off a few leaves and add it on top. Now that you've got your pizza together and the oven is preheated, now it's time to put this on the baking stone and into the oven for 8 to 10 minutes. But man, I could use a hand with this.
Did someone say they need a hand?
Thanks, Mitt!
No problem.
And then you'll just slide this in.
Can't wait till it's done.
All right, and now that your pizza is done baking, you can cut it, but before I cut it, just look at the bottom of this right now. It looks so good. It's the perfect texture. You have that fluffy crust, and that's all because of the baking stone in the KitchenAid Smart Oven. Really amazing features. You can set your timer. It has an amazing light so you can watch it bake as it's happening, and it really made it perfect. So now I'm gonna cut this.
Wow, save a slice for me.
Oh, I will. I don't know. This is really good. I think I might eat all of it. And there you have it, a Margherita Pizza homemade with the KitchenAid Smart Oven. You want a piece?
Oh yeah.